Lucky for me, nothingness rewarded me. When I had nothing, I gave you everything. And when you had everything, you gave me nothing. But lucky for me, that nothingness was actually an ancient philosophical context, as well as a metaphysical example of things like dark matter. This is like the womb of the universe. So when you leave the wrong person, well, it depends which side you're on. Just for the sake of the argument, when you leave the wrong person with nothing, what they do with that nothing, it's a lot different than what someone like yourself would do with this much space and time. Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. It's Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. Still rocking and rolling, even in the darkness, and I know my people are too. This is a reading for those of us who know how to use the darkness, the nothingness, to achieve higher states of enlightenment, to use poverty, sickness, darkness as a way to ascend, as opposed to it destroying us. We, like the phoenix, rise from those same ashes, because just like it says in the Old Testament, I'll give you beauty for ashes and the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. That's from the book of Isaiah. We have been using the Osho Zen Tarot this week. This has become one of my favorite decks. And with completion at the bottom of the deck, see what I mean? What a cool world card. Putting the final piece of the puzzle. Something has been completed here because you actually were given time and space by the people that tried to make you feel ostracized. I'm seeing the Five of Pentacles. Intentionally could have left you out. I'm hearing something about being left out of a will or left out of a group, bullied out of a group, bullied off the internet like I was. And guys, I'm like half kidding. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm crying in the freaking corner, but I did have to take space because there was a group that rose up against me on top of the other groups that are also constantly sending me negative energy. And there's that Five of Pentacles. This is actually one of my favorite Five of Pentacles because it really shows what it feels like. You feel like a kid again. You feel like you're locked behind bars. But this is what the Ace of Pentacles, this is what we did with our time. It says maturity here. The Ace of Rainbows, the Ace of Pentacles. We turned nothingness into everything. Because where anything is born, like the seed here, first a seed must go into the ground and die before it can become what it's meant to become. So the very people or situations that tried to ostracize you, leave you out in the cold intentionally, it actually is what's birthed you. It's what's birthed you. So let's take a minute to thank all the people that made us feel like shit. Thank you. Hello, hi. Great to have you all here today. To witness me and many of the other people who have been through similar things, that you have actually aided us in becoming a more authentic version of ourselves because we were pushed into nothingness by you. So you actually made us even better. And I genuinely want to thank you for that. Because we all play a part and we all play a role. So today we're looking at nothingness. Lucky for me, nothingness rewarded me, Ace of Pentacles. The nothingness card in this deck here, it's the Hierophant. Just more material for us to add to our portfolio of spiritual and esoteric information. So we're going to get 3 cards here today. This is a collective timeless reading, and it is the last of our series this week. I hope that these readings have been helpful as we process through feelings of, like the Queen of Cups, isolation, with the Nothingness card, and with the Wheel of Fortune, that karmic energy, but we've used it all to build 8 of Pentacles, our little ordinary lives that are actually not so ordinary after all. One, 2, and 3. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands into the 9 of Pentacles. This looks a little bit like a phoenix, doesn't it? Whatever has happened here, and this could be something that happened to you in the past, right? This feeling of nothingness, a blackout period where you could have had to disconnect from people or situations. And I've had to do this many times. So I know you guys have too. But I'm just saying it it actually is what makes the man. And I've learned from many of my mentors, specifically in the business world, but I've learned this from other sorts of people as well. But it's this concept of like disappearing into the darkness and then bouncing back on the scene like a totally different person. The 9 of Pentacles, this is you going into isolation, 5 of Pentacles style. People thinking that they like laughed you off the scene, or they got you to quit something, or they thought you were gone. It's kind of like at the end of the movie where the hero falls off the cliff and the movie ends and you think he's dead, but then in the ending credits, he climbs up the side of the mountain. It's that phoenix energy. It's like these people could have thought, and this could be in any situation for any of us, that they won. that they got you, that they pushed you down, that they got you to feel inferior to them because you disappeared. When in fact, just like I was saying before, some of the greatest people of all time, you will find that they kind of disappear for a little bit. Focus. Nine of Pentacles, excuse me. And then boom. They come out like blazing fire on the scene again. Cool. Knight of Swords under that. Ooh, with the Tower. Yeah, see, someone knows that what they've done here has not only just caused a tower for themselves, but has created a breakthrough for you. There could have been an effort to, like I said, cause a tower moment for you, to cause you to disappear and never return, so to speak, in some way. And this could be in a competitive field. This could be, I'm seeing like a group of people, and there's like somebody that this person's interested in that could be like interested in you. And this person's like, good, I got rid of her, I got rid of him, whatever. And it's almost like this other person just became more obsessed in your absence, because there's a mystery to you with the High Priestess card that it's like it only made you more alluring and more mysterious. I'm hearing Rey Mysterio. Someone could like wrestling. That's funny. But anyways, it's like this person wanted to square up with you, basically, in whatever capacity this is, because this could come in all different forms. This reading today, it's more of a concept of somebody pushed baby in a corner and then baby comes out swinging, basically. Right? They are pissed. Look at that guy. Because they're realizing they are the ones that actually caused a breakthrough for you. But with or without this person or people, this would have just been your natural trajectory anyways. So that's what people just need to understand about you, is that you are an alchemist. You know how to transmute energy. So you will take any sort of raw material, whether negative or positive, or this is the advice, and use it to create a breakthrough. You will, look, this guy is meditating in the background. See the figure? It's like all of this drama and chaos. It could have been like, there's something about like an overactive crown chakra. This person could be spiritual. They could have been sending black magic to you. They could have been, I'm hearing chaos magic. They could have been projecting for you to crack. I'm hearing the word crack, that they wanted you to crack. I feel like this person doesn't understand like who you are as a person and what you've actually been through. You guys must just not look like what you've been through. You must just like look normal or something, but you're a warrior. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm seeing this person trying to ram into the crown. This is a spiritual energy to try to cause you to crack. I'm hearing those words again. So, but all it did was cause you to go even more inward to bring yourself to a state of balance. Because look, it says thunderbolt. You could be somebody that knows how to like harness storms and use them to your advantage. Thunder, lightning, Mars energy, right? You could know. It's this combination of this like Piscean High Priestess energy with this like Mars. I always look at the tower as it's Mars, but like Scorpio sort of Mars. The Scorpio version of Mars, not the Aries version of Mars. This is a different process. You could be sitting here in the High Priestess meditating and literally transmuting this thunderbolt energy into your own ascension like the phoenix rising from the ashes. This is extremely powerful, guys. And I'm not saying you weren't under pressure. I'm not saying that you didn't feel like your mind was in a pressure cooker. That came through in an earlier reading with the Five of Cups, where the woman has the box on her head and it's like a cacophony of sound where it's hard for her to focus, it's hard for her to study, it's hard for her to work. So I'm not saying this person didn't fuck with you pretty bad here, but I'm or a group. But what I am saying is that this is also simultaneously just a regular Tuesday for us. With the High Priestess, with the inner voice. So, yeah, with the Fool. This propelled you actually onto the correct path, onto a new path. I'm seeing something about if you weren't pressed into this thunderbolt energy with the Tower, then you might have just kind of, remember how we had the Eight of Pentacles before? Excuse me, guys. Confirmation. The Eight of Pentacles, the card is called ordinariness. So you could have just been on your ordinary schedule, your ordinary routine, but because of this person's tomfoolery, it caused you to have to get extra focused. It caused you to have to think differently, to kind of weave and bob in a different way. Someone's name could be Bob or Tom, because I said tomfoolery and now I'm saying weave and bob. So it could be Bob, could be Tom. Doesn't have to be that. Yeah, moment to moment with the Two of Pentacles. See, you know how to stay balanced in the midst of a storm. You know how to stay on your routine and stay on your schedule, but at the same time, it shook you up just enough in order to push you into that Uranian energy, which is what the Fool is. I'm seeing this person was used as a catalyst, and it's a group for some, was used as a catalyst, whether this is in the past, currently happening, or is going to happen in the future, to push you more kind of like into alignment and on track. Like all of these things are used to aid us. Someone's name could be like Aiden or something like that, something with an A. Ten of Pentacles here. It could even have shown you to start manifesting and welcoming in your true soul family. See all these people? Because this person or people were just so upsetting to you that you thought they were your people or whatever, that it actually has propelled you to manifest the things that you weren't focused on before because they pushed you so bad. Does that make sense? Like it actually opened you up to bigger and bigger blessings, whether financial, whether there's something about a new house here for some of you. You could be wanting to manifest a house with the Ten of Pentacles, could be wanting to manifest bigger finances here. I'm seeing something about saving money so that you can go on a nice vacation or start a business. I'm seeing something about like an LLC here. So it's like this person or people actually got you in a better position than you were before, even if it was tormenting. Because I am seeing with the Knight of Swords, there was a tormenting element to this. It's like flies around the head, energetically speaking, incessantly. You could have had trouble sleeping. You could have dealt with, I'm hearing the word insomnia. You could have dealt with like restlessness. And I'm just going to put a trigger warning here, guys. I'm not a doctor. So if you are needing help, seek outside assistance, of course. But I did just open up to the Nine of Swords, and that was the card that was in my head while I was just talking. It says sorrow. See, this person pushed you into a wound, I'm hearing, an old wound. It's like they brought out an old wound that you thought you had already healed, but this was actually a good thing because it's like Spirit wanted you to take one more look at that before you moved beyond it once and for all, so that you could, it's like the bone being set properly. I'm seeing like somebody having a fracture or like a broken leg or arm or something, and it having to be kind of cracked back into place here. So this person, God used them as a spiritual doctor to you, right? So I don't believe anyone is good or bad. I believe that it's all how we see things and being grateful for every single player on the field, right? It doesn't mean that we continue to surround ourselves with people who have done these things to us, but it's just about keeping that bigger perspective, like the 10 of Pentacles card with all those people. So let's take a look here. Card number 1 is the 3 of Cups. Very interesting because this came through in one of our other readings in this series. See, for some of you here, this is a group, or this was a group, or it will be a group. And I don't like to make negative projections, but these are life lessons, guys. This is like something you would learn in an intro to marketing or intro to business or a spiritual course or metaphysics, philosophy, that this is part of things that people gather together like this. But I'm also seeing this feels more positive to me. This feels like you maybe inadvertently manifested some real good people because you're like, God, I'm so tired of this happening to me. I keep getting fooled by these. I'm hearing these siphoners. You could have thought that this person or people were energy vampires, and I think for a lot of you, they were. They wanted to use you to get to that 10 of Pentacles for themselves. Excuse me, guys, confirmation. You could have been wondering, like, is that true? Is that true? Spirit's saying, yes, it was. It's hot in here, guys. Shoo. All right. I want to clarify these, but what I'm seeing this as is they pushed you so hard that you have begun to manifest like real people for yourself in celebrations. Like, remember I said something about a vacation before on that 10 of Pentacles? You could end up going on like some cool trip with a group, or there's something like that here where it's a celebration. This is good energy because remember, today's reading is lucky for me, and I use the word lucky on purpose. Nothingness rewarded me. 2 words, lucky and reward, going back to this Wheel of Fortune, and we had the 10 of Pentacles come through. You will be gifted You will receive a gift. You will receive a gift. This is actually what started these readings for me, is that I pulled this card and then I got this whole download for this series with like the black background and the Osho Zen Tarot. I've been waiting to use this deck on camera, and now is the time. Luck and rewards, Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Pentacles. This is your karmic return. And I think for some of us here, it has to do with like our real people. This can also be some sort of a coming together with you and a divine counterpart if you're looking for love. Card number 2. This is the Temperance card, which is that alchemy message that I talked about earlier. See how these hands are holding the yin and the yang? Let's just create an energy ball here. If you rub your hands together, my Reiki friends will know what this is all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about, is energy. And you'll find that you're holding this orb in the middle of your hands. And you can make it bigger. That seems about right. You're holding pure, raw life force in your hands that can translate to really anything that you want. Now just imagine taking this energy, all of the negative stuff that tried to hurt you and take you down, just slowly let that expand into the balloon like helium. Just let it blow up a little bit with all that negative. Now that we have that, we take this ball of energy and we condense it down. Imagine this ball of energy like an egg or a seed, like that Ace of Pentacles. Filling it with all of your good intentions that you can turn anything you want, whether negative or positive, into something magnificent. Someone's name could be Maggie or an M name. So now just imagine that you're holding like a big egg in your hand or a seed. Now let's take this seed. We'll keep with seed because it's Ace of Pentacles. And now let's plant it in the ground, proverbially speaking, the metaphysical ground. Put the dirt on top. And we will wait for that to manifest into rewards for us. That's all transmutation is. This actually says integration. See, this energy here, again, it goes back to they were the ones that pushed you into this higher level of integration of yourself. You could have had to lean more one side or the other, like into a more masculine or feminine side, depending. And what that did was, even if it was a defense mechanism and it felt like shit and you felt terrible and stuff, I'm not saying we're monks out here where our feelings are not hurt and that we aren't struggling when these things are happening to us. I'm saying, but above all, we are able to turn these things, alchemize these things into something productive. But not only that, it's an integration of the inside world. So this actually helps to balance us out. Could even be something about 3 aspects of us being balanced out. Because if you have 3 different things, like maybe you have 3 talents, or maybe you have like 3 big things that you are involved with, like, or you have like just 3 aspects of your life, and if one kind of gets out of order, it kind of throws the whole thing off. There's something here about everything that happened, whether this was in the past, the present, or it's coming in the future. This will serve you. This isolation will serve you. You know how people say that rejection is actually God's protection? I would even go a step further and say it's God's reward for you. Card number 3, we have the 4 of Swords. See, this quiet time, this nothingness sort of period, not only did it just help bring you into a higher state of spirituality, you could have gotten closer to God or whoever you pray to or connect with at this time, or at the time that you'll experience this moment, because we all will at different points in time in our lives. This is just part of life. And I would argue that it's only the best of the best that experience 5 of Pentacles stuff. And it's because you are being targeted for your greatness. You are being targeted because of your light. It's a mirror to everything that people wish they were but are not. And instead of taking that as inspiration, they turn it into a smear campaign against you so that they can assert their domination and power and control over you, as opposed to just being themselves. And if they would just be themselves, you would be equals. That's what these people don't get. But that's not for us to teach them with the Hierophant, because they don't want to listen. But other people will. These lessons will help to heal, Four of Swords, not only ourselves, but others. I'm just talking about in casual conversation, guys. I mean, you could just be, talking to a friend or something about something that you went through and just sharing your perspective on how you use it to your advantage. And actually the time off ended up, or the time away, it helped you to see things differently. Now you're on a whole new track. Now you're going back to school, or you started a new job, or you started your own business, or you just feel better. It doesn't always have to be some like achievement-based thing. We live in an achievement-based society. I don't think it always has to be achievement-based. I got a lot of earth. So I always kind of go there. But you could just have been talking to somebody, or you will. And it's like, it brings a different perspective to somebody. It teaches somebody a different way of seeing things. But I'm also seeing here this word postponement. See, there was something here about alignment. I've been praying a lot about this for myself lately, asking God to bring me into perfect alignment. That's been my main prayer. Something about Maine. You could live in Maine. Don't have to, obviously. Maybe you're going to Maine this summer. Doesn't have to be, because I know not everybody's from the U.S. or from my side of the U.S. But I love Maine. I especially love Portland. Such a cute, like, artsy city. See how she's looking into a painting and everything around her is monochrome, but the painting and her shirt are color. There's something about, you could have even been in a routine, or you could have been in a grind, and the irony is, whatever Tower moment and Knight of Swords all this shit was, it kind of bust you out of some sort of a more monotonous vibe and started to make you realize, you started to look around and you're like, wait, it's kind of like bland in here. I gotta spruce up the place, metaphorically speaking. I'm gonna paint this wall. I'm gonna paint a painting. I'm gonna get some new clothes. I'm gonna make myself feel better. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna heal even more than I knew that I needed to be healed, because again, that wound could have come up, abandonment, or you could have been bullied when you were younger like me, and it could have brought up all of that stuff. Like, I was bullied a lot. Like, a lot. Especially when I was younger, but even when I got a little bit older, I was as well. So something could have been revealed for it to be healed through the situation. So it was actually a gift. But I'm also seeing something about the word postponement, where you could have just taken some time away, and that actually is what gave you a different perspective, and now you are on a totally different track than you would have been. So let's clarify these a little bit. I'm just gonna go through. Yeah, it's like this could have shined a light. This situation could have shown a light on the fact that you were in some sort of analysis paralysis with the Seven of Pentacles, just going over something again and again, or thinking it's not good enough, or overthinking, or whatever. And because of the chaos that entered your life, it actually got you into a state of having to, like, dream again. So this person, they could have been trying to take you down because you're a dreamer, and because you have a big light and you shine that light. Ironically enough, you could have felt like your color was drained. You could have felt like you were living in black and white, and yet this person and other people were perceiving you as this, like, dreamer, full of light, full of vibrancy. So even on your down day, guys, even when things get monotonous and boring, this is still how people see us. But what I'm seeing here is there's something about this person, they tried to take you down because of that, or people, they tried to take you down a peg because they saw you as this light, they saw you as this dreamer. You could have felt a little blah. So what they did is they pushed you to dream even bigger, That's the irony. It's like you started dreaming again. You're like, hey, I gotta start some creative projects here. You could have even started to think, like I was saying before, like I gotta find some real friends. I'm kind of looking for a lover, actually, after all. Kind of like sparking these things in you. This was some sort of a cycle that this person actually helped you complete, right? I think all of the people that have played a role in my ascension through my life, and just, I shouldn't even say ascension. It's not always about ascension and achievements. It's just about the journey, man. That's what makes the movie interesting, is all the side characters. That's what fills in the story. Those are the plot points. Even if they're negative, I write them in my book. I write them in my script, in my songs, in my paintings, in the fabric of my clothes. These people are like a mosaic, each playing a part, playing a piece. Remember how at the beginning with the world card, it was that last piece of the puzzle. This person could have been like a past life enemy to you or something like that, whoever they are to you or people. But actually, they were the missing piece, guys. And that is actually very beautiful. I'm not saying you should be around people that are toxic and go back to them and stuff. I'm just saying, looking back, they played a very important part for you. They helped you put that final piece of the puzzle together to finish some sort of a karmic cycle that could have taken you back to a very wounded period of time, could have brought up abandonment wounds or bullying wounds or feeling left out in the cold with the Five of Pentacles. And it actually ended up finally solidifying a new level of confidence that you've been trying to get to. So we can thank these people for that. Three of Cups, Temperance, and Four of Swords. Two cards of healing here with Temperance and the Four of Swords. And the Three of Cups is a card of celebration. It's a card of coming together. This could be pieces of yourself coming together, as well as physical people, or just like old dreams that you forgot about. You could have been reminded of painful things because of the situation you went through, but you were simultaneously reminded of like back when you were 15 years old. What happened when I was 15? Okay, maybe I was bullied, but I also had a dream to do this or that, or I also had a dream to do this. It could have also simultaneously reminded you of what was in the dark, in the positive as well. And you're like, wow, I forgot about that. I still want to do that. I still have that dream. All right. Ace of Pentacles in the bottom, baby. And there is our seed or our egg, however you want to see it. This could be an egg that hatches. This can be a seed that comes to life and forms a beautiful flower. It's going to take a little time, so be patient, but this will come to pass. This will be successful, whatever this manifestation is. And it could just be through this experience, right? All right, so clarifying the Three of Cups, we have the Queen of Wands. See, guys, if you got like bullied, or, I'm using the word bullied, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be 34 years old on August 30th. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm using that because that's the level of childish behavior that we experience even as adults, right? But it could have been like a group of women, but if you're a man, it might have been a group of men. Like, men do this shit too to other men. It might just come off a little bit differently, or however you identify, right? Like, I've seen all sorts of crazy shit in all different sorts of crazy communities. So it doesn't really matter. All I know is there's a group here. You were a standout. You were an outlier. Have you ever read that book, Outliers? That's a really good book. you're an outlier in some way. You're unique in some way. You stand out in some way. You shine your light in some way. And I'm hearing the word unique very highlighted here because the Queen of Wands, male, female, non-binary, however you identify, she's usually very attractive and magnetic. But I feel like with the Queen of Wands, she also has this. She's an artist a lot of the time. Like she's unique. Her sunflower, it radiates the light of the sun, and the sun and the star together, that's like Leo and Aquarius. So those Leo and Aquarius, the polarities, or they're two sides of the same coin. Aquarius is very unique, right? So there's something here about you could have been looked at, like people could have come against you because they thought you were attractive or they thought you were charismatic or magnetic or something like that. So they had to get a group together to try to take you down a peg, basically. Now, this is how I always see it. The person who stands alone is the strong one, because why would people have to gather a group together to take one person down? Why wouldn't they just go themselves? Right? Now, for one reason, I think people do this because they secretly in their heart know they're wrong for doing this to somebody. So they kind of get a group together to make themselves feel better about like hating somebody. This is very catty. This feels very catty. Someone's name could be like Kat or Katie or something like that. I had a friend, Katie. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that. Well, they won't know. I've known a lot of Katies, but years ago, this girl, she was so mean, guys. Like, and this was around when I was like 15, and she was a close friend of mine. She lived down the street. We were super close, right? And then she hacked my Facebook account. This was so many years ago, guys, right? Dumb example. But this is like 15-year-old behavior, this energy. She hacked my Facebook account and she wrote all over my wall and my status and stuff like that. Like, I'm a fat pig. And she put like pig stuff everywhere and, just whatever. Who the hell cares? But it's something like that where I haven't thought of that in a long time. But there's something like that here, even if it wasn't that sort of a thing, because hopefully we're grown here. But it's that sort of an energy where, because the Queen of Wands is very attractive. She is a standout in some way. Even if she is kind of unique or weird, she's known for that. Like, she could be an artist with like pink hair. You could be like witchy. I know a lot of you guys are. I see what you look like. I mean, some of y'all are probably AI, but for the real people out here, some of us are really like eccentric, unique, like we have our own style, but it's magnetic. There's not a cookie cutter hot. There's no one way to be hot. There's all sorts of different looks. There's all sorts of different expressions, all different shapes and sizes of the body, right? Doesn't matter what your size is. It doesn't matter what you have or you don't have. We can all embrace what we have. And I feel like that's what this Queen of Wands has done. And that's what caused the bullying to begin with, is because this is a group mentality. This is group think. And you're standing alone, shining your light. So what this did was, yes, it could have hurt. It could have made you feel like a sense of insecurity coming up again. That's part of the wound that Spirit wanted us to look at. Now, this reading is not time-based, guys. So this could even be something that comes up in a different way or something like that, where this is the message, though, is that something happens that makes you question yourself or makes you feel bad about yourself, 5 of Pentacles, insecure, but actually this is the very thing that solidifies your confidence once and for all at the higher level that you've been trying to get it to, and it will just stay at that level. It's like in the stock market. Once a stock kind of, like, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, but then there's a point where it starts to kind of not really go below that very much. It's an average. We call this VWAP in the stock market. So if you're like a nerd like me and you know about chart analysis, there is a setting that you can use when you're reading charts called VWAP, and it kind of measures the average of a stock. So this is what I'm seeing here. You've averaged out because of these fools. So basically, they pushed your stock into a level that it's going to take a lot of force to take you below this average ever again, because you've been able to successfully maintain this confidence even when a group came against you, and you came back still shining and still genuine, guys. And that's why you're my people, and that's why I really love you guys, and I'm so proud of you, because we've been through a lot of shit, all of us, but still I rise. This is a Maya Angelou, sort of a Queen of Wands, right? She's like a warrior Queen of Wands. She's one hot bitch, right? She looks good. She's strong as hell. She's a badass bitch, this lady here. Or man, however you identify, right? Clarifying the Temperance card, we have the Three of Cups, guys. How funny. It's just showing, take what happened here, like we did with the ball of energy, and transmute it. Turn all of that negative stuff that happened and turn it into balance for yourself. And your stock it's going to be immovable, bro. That's what's up. All right. Clarifying the Four of Swords is the Queen of Cups, guys. What a beautiful way to end our series. We started off with our Queen of Cups message on our first reading. When I had nothing, I gave you everything. See, guys, this is part of a healing process for us with the Four of Swords, where we could have been overgiving. You know, maybe we are more used to being in this Queen of Cups instead of this Queen of Wands. For some of us, because we know if we shine our light and we're confident and we don't let people make us feel bad about ourselves, we know that people are going to be jealous of that. So some of us could kind of hide our light or hide our confidence because it like attracts negative energy. But this is what Spirit is showing. You're not meant to dim your light. It doesn't matter if these sorts of people come against you. This has been part of the lesson, to not just show yourself as one-dimensional, like you're just this empath, healer, Reiki master, however you are. You're more than that. You're also charismatic, you're funny, you're artistic. It's like mixing these two things together. See, this is an integration. Beautiful way to end this whole process this week that we've gone through with the black background. This has helped us integrate our two sides, because nobody is just one thing. And I talked about that in my little short film sort of vibe. It was actually more of like a digital essay vibe that I put out on my reading, or not my reading, my episode called This Is What Bullied Me Off the Internet. This is what bullied me off the internet, and this is what will bully anybody off the internet. This is what will bully you out of the workplace. This is what will bully you out of a group of friends, you know, is this confidence, this Queen of Wands. But Spirit is saying, no, do not dim this down. This is not cockiness. This is true confidence. This is spiritual confidence. I'm hearing you're the genuine article. When I had nothing, I gave you everything. When you had everything, you gave me nothing. Lucky for me, nothingness rewarded me. Thank you, everybody. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. I hope that you enjoy. All right, got to finish up my laptop again. I'm literally 1 minute away from the end of my video, but here we are. Different angle, right? You can see my shirt more. I love the shirt, so yeah. Maybe Spirit was like, you're going to want to remember you wore this shirt with your 8 necklace. So So I love you guys. It's been Missy Gordon, the Meta Mystic here. Remember, you can always listen to this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. EST. It's great to have you guys. I just want to say I do love you so much. I appreciate you so much, guys, because a lot of people came out and said just so many things to me that like helped reinstate my hope for humanity. After I put out my episode, This Is What Bullied Me Off the Internet, I just got so many like interesting, thought-provoking, and kind comments, as well as other people relating to it, and just, you guys are just a kick-ass community. I really love you guys, and I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you all. And, you know, we are some powerful people. And we're here to change the world. So I'm sending some of this solar plexus, Queen of Wands energy. Where did she go? To everybody. Here she is. All right. With the sunflowers. So that you can do all the things that you want to do with confidence. Thank you to everybody who supports the show. Thank you for your donations so much. And if you want to book a personal reading, info is down below as always. And until next time, it's been Missy Gordon, the Meta Mystic here, and I'll see you on the next one. This is comically large. Gotta put those out under the full moon in Capricorn. This piece here I created many years ago for my song Everything Changes. I've mentioned this piece in a past reading, I forgot which one, and I found it, and I want to put this song at the end of today's episode. This is literally the setup I have right now for a vlog setup, so I don't know what to tell you. This is what we got to work with, y'all. All right, this is not. I mean, it's actually kind of fucking awesome. I don't give a shit. All right, peace. There's oil on the carpet, there's blood upon the strings. This hope inside my locket means everything to me. There's oil on the carpet, there's blood upon the strings. This hope inside my locket means everything to me. Were gathered, I dreamt one night in bed, all animals together, the elephant won't forget. The longer I wait, everything changes. The longer I wait, everything changes. Everything changes. There's liquor in the pantry, protests within the news, negate the bigger answer and face the life of abuse. A baby in the choir, her mother on the street. There's hope within the kitchen, if only we'd come to eat. The longer I wait, everything changes. The longer I wait, everything years ago. It sounds like a simple thing to say, but it's gonna be okay.